Woo! 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 Great. We got some crazy trades, dude. We got some crazy trades. Good morning, everybody. Oh my goodness. I don't go live for one day. Granted, everything happened after I would have went live anyways. So this is what we're doing. I made a Jaren Jackson short, so that happened. That was fire. Golly, did we pop off yesterday? Jeez. Yeah, I just want to recap everything that happened yesterday. Everything, all the good trades that went down. I don't think there was a single bad trade. We could talk about that when it comes to it. There's a couple. There might be one or two trades that some people are like, ugh, really not liking as a consensus. Even if you're not a fan of the team, you might still not like these trades. I definitely don't like. Well, okay. Well, let's just get to them. Let's just hop right into it, bro. Let me pull up Twitter and just go through Shams' his little Twitter. Hopefully something pops off while I'm on Twitter. That'd be crazy. We also got some reports that come out this morning, so that's also been very interesting to see what is happening behind the scenes and what we thought was true and then what ended up not being true, right? So it's kind of interesting. Let me go all the way down. Right to here. Boom. Beautiful. Okay. Yesterday, this is the first one. I believe. Okay. So we can recap. We can. I mean, this happened over the weekend, or the Trae Young thing happened. But let's skip to yesterday because that was kind of the main stuff. This dropped that the Clippers are trying to find a move for James Harden. We'll get into that later. But that broke. Everyone went to sleep. I was like, is this gonna happen? I mean, I'm a Clippers fan, so I was like, is this gonna happen while I'm asleep? Like that would suck. Don't want to wake up and find out my boys got traded. So we'll get to that in a second. The first big one. This is why I love the trade deadline. This is like Christmas, bro. Nobody was thinking Jaren Jackson was really gonna get traded. It was more like the Ja Morant getting moved to like Miami or whatever. Let alone did we think he was gonna get moved to Utah, if in this fashion. Jaren Jackson Jr., John Conchar, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams Jr. to the Utah Jazz for Walton Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, Georges Niang, and 3 first-round picks. That is a lot of salary moving around. That's a lot of people moving around. I mean, that's 7. That is 8 dudes in 3 picks in one trade. For just a 2-team trade. A 2-team trade. Wow. Tongue twister. So, this is a big deal. And I already made a short about this. Go check that out if you haven't seen it already. Yeah. I like this Utah. I don't know how they're going to keep him down. I mean, I saw this tweet yesterday that it was like Utah lawmakers are trying to get something about open concealed in the Delta Center or something. Someone was like, yeah, Jaren Jackson better not have a 5-rebound game ever again. I was like, true. But this team, when Walker Kessler comes back in the beginning of next season, plus a top draft pick, if we can get there, would be interesting. I mean, imagine if they get the first overall pick, you go get AJ DeBancer or Darren Peterson here. I mean, you got Keontae, Darren, Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson, and Walker Kessler. That's a pretty good lineup going into next year, right? They're already if they were actually trying to win, they could have done something. They remind me a little bit of this Suns team that's also pretty young, very well coached, but I don't think the Suns want to be in the lottery, so they're like, we're gonna play hard, we're just gonna win. Not to mention Dylan Brooks has popped off, but same thing for the Jazz. Keontae George has been very, very, very good. Lauri Markkanen has been an all-star before, right? So and then you have those young pieces around as well. going to get Jaren Jackson is a big deal. Now that I think about it, Jaren Jackson to the Suns would actually be kind of fire. But Jaren Jackson to Utah was the first one. It was like right before lunch. Boom. Dude, I just couldn't believe this. This is a crazy one. The fact that the Grizzlies got 3 first-round picks back for Jaren is crazy talk. Jazz make a major swing, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. So Grizzlies are going for a rebuild. They got 7 first round picks total for Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bane, and not even including John Morant. And people were like, you might have to freaking give up a first to get rid of John Morant, as we saw with one of the other trades later. So this next one kind of was. It wasn't like a oof. It was just more of a interesting. Like, this is the move you got to make before a move, right? For both teams, we're gonna have to see what Chicago and Minnesota and Detroit are doing. But Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit agreed to a multi-team deal that sends Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley to the Bulls, Kevin Huerter, Dario Saric to the Pistons, and that was it. And then Detroit also gets a first-round protected swap from Minnesota. So Minnesota doesn't get anything. That just salary dump. Just get out of there, and we're gonna give Detroit a pick too. Pick swap. Excuse me. So Jaden Ivey goes to the Bulls, which is interesting. That makes you think, okay, he's a very talented young guard. Cade. We've had a couple teams with the double guard mentality, and it doesn't work as well as the double big. Even the double big sometimes doesn't work out a whole ton. But you got Cade and you got Jaden Ivey, and then Cade starts working well. You got Shea and Josh Giddey, and now Josh Giddey's doing good. You see what I'm saying? And both those guys got traded to the Bulls, which is funny. But you get rid of Josh Giddey, who's your kind of second lead guard, and that makes Shea pop off more, So I understand this move from Detroit. It makes sense to get rid of Jaden Ivey. You don't need him, even though he could be a good player. What can you get back from him? Well, you get back Kevin Huerter, who's been a flamethrower, right? He's just, over the course of his career, he's been good, right? They call him Red Mamba. Is that his name? I think his name's Red Mamba. And Dario Saric, which is whatever, right? So pretty good stuff. And then Minnesota, what is Minnesota doing in this, right? Why are they in the graphic? They're salary dumping. I think Mike Conley's contract is, we could probably find out here, $10 million or something, 10.7. I think it was $10.7 million. And that is very interesting because they're trying to go for Giannis, right? Giannis has said his 2 destinations now are Miami and Minnesota, which could not be more polar opposite from each other. But here we are, right? So, in terms of climate, which is funny. But, yeah, it's interesting to see what Minnesota's doing. Mike Conley is a dog, and I hope that he does good on the Bulls. If they're going to move him, I don't know. I don't think the Bulls are done yet because they have... Well, let's keep going. I don't think the Bulls are done yet because they weren't done. They traded Nikola Vucevic and a second-round pick to Boston for Anthony Simons and a second-round pick. I don't understand the second-round pick. Why did you have to do that? If there's nothing else in there, I don't understand why. Maybe it was like, hey, we'll just trade up in the second round. I don't know. I'll find the details out later. Maybe. But, well, this one, I love this one. The Celtics finally get a good center, like a good center. Let's find out what's Vooch averaging. What's Vooch averaging this year? 16.9 and 9. 17 and 9. I mean, he's been playing well. Right? So, the Celtics get a center. This dude will be playing. He's good. They've needed a center. I mean, they're playing Amias Queta and Luka Garza at the 5. Jason Tatum's out. So, you move Simons, who is a good player. I just slapped the freak out of him. You move Simons, who's a great player, right? I never saw him really working in Boston full time, and he wasn't even there for half a season. He was there for half a season, literally, right? I didn't think he was going to work for the long term because, I mean, you got Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. Simons likes having the ball in his hands, right? Jaylen Brown is doing well with the ball in his hands. You got Jason Tatum. You don't need Simons. Move Simons, get it big. 100%. That is exactly what everyone was thinking. A lot of people were thinking a Jaren Jackson or Ivica Zubac. Wasn't really thinking Nikola Vucevic for me, but now that I look at it, makes sense. Vuce is a very, very good center. We're not talking like all-star starter caliber or even all-star caliber, all NBA. But Vuce is going to be good. He's going to be very good for the Celtics. Now, I was talking about Chicago and how they're just, everyone is making jokes that Chicago's just getting guards and guards and guards. They acquired Jaden Ivey, Mike Conley, and Anthony Simons on the trade deadline, right? They're going to be making some moves. I don't know what moves that it means, because right now you still have Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu. I forget what letter is in the front. I think it's Dosunmu. But those guys can get moved, right? And we'll have to see what or do they move Simons? Because now the Bulls have Simons and Jaden Ivey. Like, who do you get rid of? I just hope that the Clippers are the beneficiary of one of these guards, and we can get them for like a couple second round picks or something like that. So I really like this one for Boston. Bulls, you got us. We're still working on it, and we could see some stuff today too, because the trade deadline ends tomorrow. So we'll be very interested to see what happens here, right? So there's Vooch in the yay. Okay. Also shout out Kawhi Leonard is 2026 NBA All-Star. Oh, my God. Woo! Yay! Kawhi's All-Star. Let's go. And Cat is playing for Team World. Shout out Cat. Okay. Talk about the big boy. Literally the big boy. This one, we knew about it coming into yesterday, because Tuesday night, is it? No, Monday night? What's today? Today's Wednesday. Monday night, we found out about this, that this was happening. And there's some reports that we'll get onto and talk about here in a second. But we knew about some reports that James Harden was going to be moved, right? For specifically Darius Garland. He was going to go to Cleveland for Darius Garland. There was going to be some sort of move. They're trying to get this done quickly. It's probably going to be a 1-for-1 because their contracts are both, I think, $39 to $40 million. Like, it's literally right there. You can just go, and it works for both teams. And it benefits both teams. Now, it finally happened yesterday, right? It took probably 24 hours after the time it was first announced. James Harden's going to Cleveland. Darius Garland is coming to LA. This is I need some more time to think about this. Because Cleveland, do they get better? Yes. I think that they get better. I didn't even like the tweet. Dang, what am I doing? Cleveland. Oh, yo, what's up, dog? Hey, we're just recapping trades, dog. So let me know what you think. I'm almost done with this, and then we're gonna talk. We're just gonna be yapping about stuff. So appreciate you pulling up. Yeah, James Harden goes to Cleveland. Do they get better? Yes. Do they get older? Yes. Are they gonna make trades for Giannis and AD? I don't know. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to find out. Hopefully, we get some bombs today. James Harden is a better player overall than Darius Garland is right now. And that might be funny because he's 10 years older. There's been this big old discourse with that, right? What happens with this? Clippers get younger, but they have an injury guy and blah, blah, blah. I don't even know when he comes back. But anyways. This is good for both teams. This reminds me of the Cat Julius Randle trade where they basically flipped them and it was like, interesting. And there were more picks in that where DiVincenzo goes to Minnesota and Cat goes to New York. But yeah, that was one of these where I'm like, interesting. And the main thing that a lot of people are talking about is the fact that the Cavs had to give up a second pick to it seems like they're getting rid of Darius Garland, which makes sense because he's been injured. Once again, with the double guards, it's hard to have double guards, man, because double bigs coexist better than two guards, especially two scoring guards. Now, it's going to be interesting to see because not like the Clippers are shedding a ton of money here, right? They're literally just kind of doing the same thing. That's why they were able to just be flipped one for one. Everyone in the picture is everyone that was involved, right? Cleveland is really going in on Donovan Mitchell and helping out. And James Harden is going to be a great, if they keep Mobley and Allen, it could be great, let alone if they go trade for Giannis. It could be Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and Giannis. I don't think Giannis wants to go to Cleveland, but we'll have to find out. I don't think he has a no trade clause. So, yeah, it's really interesting to see this trade go down. The Clippers, people are saying they should tank. Not tank. They should lay off the gas a little bit, but I'm like, we should keep pushing. Darius Garland is a good player. I don't know when he's back. Let's see his injury. Let's do a quick little detour. What is his injury? I know it's his toe. It's his other toe. Great result. The Cavs get a B. Clippers get a B minus. Oh, okay. Before. The reason that this trade got done was because James Harden's contract didn't really match up with the Clippers having the most money in free agency for 2027 offseason, which would be next year's offseason, obviously. And that's a big deal. That is a massive deal that they did not want they did not want to re-sign a 37-year-old James Harden and waste that money and have him on the team at that point, which makes sense. And we'll get into reports later. Darius Garland fixes that a little bit where, okay, it's the same amount of money, but he's 10 years younger, so maybe we can work with that or maybe flip him for something else. But he's a two-time All-Star. We might as well see where that's going, right? Somehow the Clippers get a B minus. Like, I'm in the same, I get it. I don't think, people are saying, oh, it was an F for Cleveland and an A for LA. And I'm like, I don't think I believe in that, you know? Let's see. Garland and Zubats and Kawhi. I think Kawhi wants to stay on the team, hopefully. But he did say he wants to play with another guy. And the best guy he's played with so far was James Harden. James Harden is 100% better than Paul George in every facet. At their peak, at their floor, too, in their old age. Like, James Harden has just been better. If the Clippers tank them, will do them any good because they got no picks. First rounder going to best team in the league. Yeah, so they're not going to be able to tank this year or in the future, like anytime in the future, which kind of sucks. Unless they trade Kawhi to OKC for those picks, which would be hilarious, but that is no way going to happen. So I 100% dog, but yeah. Swapping 36-year-old Harden or 36-year-old preserved new contract. I want to learn more about where was his injury. Right toe sprain. When did he? So he just got hurt. Suffered the injury January 14th. So that was 2-3 weeks ago. The 7th-year guard will be reevaluated 7 to 10 days. So nagging injury to the left toe. Yeah, so it's I don't know when he's gonna come back. The best part is that the Clippers and the Cavs play together. They're gonna hold hands and play together. They play against each other tonight, so that's hilarious. Now the interesting part about this whole dilemma, and this has a lot more storyline to it than the other trades do. This James Harden, it was a bunch of memes and stuff that James Harden requested trade as soon as he doesn't want to be in a position or finds out he's not getting his bag, he's out of here. That was not the case. It was very much well reported that hold on. Where was that at? I thought Shams posted that. Shams did not post it. Someone else did. That basically, we can throw this up. James Harden, it wasn't that he requested a trade. The Clippers told him that he wasn't going to get extended, or re-signed and started just shopping him immediately. They were like, you know what, this isn't what we want to do. Let's move him aside. And granted, he's been playing super well to the point where this makes sense to where you can get a guy like Darius Garland back, right? He's been one of the offensive engine to get this team to where they're at, with Kawhi also playing like unconsciously good, which has been so fun to watch. But yeah, so James Harden apparently did not request a trade, and he had a statement. I should have found it before. You can look it up and see that he basically said it wasn't part of the timeline. I found that out. Like they went ahead and traded him. He didn't request for a trade. Clippers just went boom, let's do it. So that I respect a little bit more. That's cool that the Clippers are saying this. We really want this money for 2027. Granted, we can check and see because this whole deal revolves around that free agency. So we'll go look and see what 2027 free agency looks like for the Clippers and what they can do, because that is your market. Your market is LA. Your market is having a lot of money. So when you have a lot of money, have a new arena, you have Kawhi Leonard, who hopefully is still playing good in a year, right? By the end of next year. So a year and a half. One full season and a half, right? I think Kawhi will still be playing good by then, to where a guy would want to come and play, a younger guy. So let's actually go look at that, because that's the whole thing is contingent on who are the free agents in 2027 that would make sense for the Clippers to want to trade James Harden, to have more money, to sign. Oh boy, hold on. There's no way. No, this is just a. Hold on. Who's a free agent? Is this everybody who's a free agent? Oh, dude, yeah, it is. I think it is. Okay. The first two, don't care. Steph's not leaving. Anthony Davis is not leaving. Or we don't want an AD either. Not with max money. Giannis, that could be interesting, but if he gets moved, that'd be weird to see if he gets moved again, or if he signs. I just don't know. Jimmy Butler, that's not someone. Yeah. Nikola Jokic, they sign him? Like what happens there? Cat, Paul George, Donovan Mitchell, Kawhi, KD, Zach LaVine, Trae Young. Yeah, this draft class isn't looking a draft class. This free agent class doesn't look insane. Hello. Come say goodbye. Or say hello and goodbye. All right. Okay. Love you too. Bye. It's not looking crazy. So, I mean, that's gonna be interesting. We're gonna have to see what happens with that when it happens. But that was the whole point. 2027 offseason is the catalyst for why this whole deal got done. So it's gonna be super interesting to watch. Now, the Cavs, do they get better? Yes. Someone said Cavs going from the 5th seed and a second round exit to the 4th seed and a second round exit. He ain't do nothing but step back. Yeah. And Bill Simmons made a good point where he made a video, or kind of like a parody, and talked about like, oh, hey, we're having problems choking in the playoffs. Who do we go get to fix that? And people are like, James Harden. And it's like, yeah, as a Clippers fan who sees people like making fun of your team and stuff, people better keep the same energy about Harden in the playoffs against Cleveland, or with Cleveland, because hopefully they can get him there, right? Where are the standings right now? Cleveland's in 5th, tied for 4th. So they're probably, this could be interesting. If they can end up with the 4th seed with Harden, which they might be able to do, unless the Raptors make some moves. Celtics are going to get better. Knicks snatch the 2nd seed chain back. Good stuff. Philly. Okay, the East is really interesting, but the Cavs need that 4 seed, dude, because Cavs could beat. Cavs could beat the Pistons in the second round if they go win here, whatever. If they're 4 or the 5, they go to the first. They play the first seed. They win that. They could beat Detroit if they're healthy. Get James Harden, you get Donovan Mitchell. That's gonna be interesting. So, okay. Well, who else is planning on getting moved? Do we look at Jams? Anything? Nothing. Nothing crazy. Cavs acquiring one of the NBA's greatest 75 players has the ability to elevate the team ceiling as they continue to contend for a title out of the Eastern Conference. It aligns 2 high-powered, multifaceted engines and Harden, Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, 2 different kinds of players. One of them is scoring and passing, while the other one is basically just getting buckets. But yeah, James Harden is definitely it's a good thing. Harden and the Clippers worked through his exit over the last few days, resulting in beneficial outcome for both sides. A win now opportunity for Harden, playing at a high level at 36, and recent two-time All-Star in Garland at 26, playing for the Clippers present and future. I'm really excited to see what it's going to look like for Garland to be in LA with Kawhi, because right now we just got back Derrick Jones Jr., right? That's going to be a big deal. Where people are saying, "Oh, he was a bad defender," as if people also weren't saying that Harden is also a bad defender, right? He's a bad defender, and I'm like, the squad that we got going on right now in LA. Let me hit one of these. Squad we got going on right now in LA has been really good, because Kawhi's been playing really, really good. Harden has been playing good. Zoo, I thought we were gonna move Zoo, but now I'm like, I don't think we need to, or maybe can. And the defensive guys, as long as we don't trade any of them, we could build this roster up pretty nicely. Like, reconstruct. I thought we did a really good job coming out of the offseason into the regular season of, hey, good stuff. We got a bench. We got John Collins, this and stuff, who's also been very, very good. You get Derrick Jones Jr. back from injury. Chris Dunn is a very good defensive player. So Garland is not going to have these issues defensively, because you're going to have it's a really, really good defensive team around him. You got Garland, then Chris Dunn, Kawhi, John Collins, or Derrick Jones Jr., and then Zubac. The rest of the 4 out of that 5 is like A defenders, A+ defenders. Really good. And Garland is obviously probably a negative, but Harden probably was in that same conversation anyways, right? Not to mention the Clippers also will have to see moves. The Clippers could go get a good backup point guard. And that's something that we've needed, because we've had Jordan Miller, and we're supposed to have Chris Paul, who we can also move. Chris Paul and Bogdan Bogdanovic, we can also move 100%. And we got some second round picks now. Like, we could go get a Kobe White. We could go get Ayo Dosunmu. Go get insert anybody else, right? I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what the Clippers do, because they're the 9th seed right now. You know, they're right there. Winning the play-in, and then getting the 7th or 8th seed. 7th seed would be interesting. 7th seed, you play Denver in the first round, because I think Denver's 2nd seed, or San Antonio, depending on what's happening. But Jokic is back, so whatever. Get the 8th seed, you play OKC in the first round. That'd be hilarious. But then, guess what? We don't have to worry about Game 7 James Harden. What? Right? It's going to be interesting. It will be interesting for sure. I think that was definitely one of the most interesting trades that we've seen in a minute since the Luka trade. Obviously, Luka trade was the most interesting trade that we've seen in a minute. But a straight up 1-for-1 old guard for young guard, 10 years apart, and just swap them. That is so interesting. That is so interesting to think about. But let's talk about Giannis. Where is Giannis going to go? Let's take a look. What else is going to happen before this deadline ends tomorrow? Yeah, here we go. 1 minute ago. James Harden denies that he ever asked the Clippers to be traded. Harden says he didn't want to hold the Clippers up in the future. Both sides got what they wanted, are in a great place, and are very happy. This is like a mugshot. I don't know what James is doing over here. That's crazy. So obviously he did not request to be traded. That doesn't mean he didn't want to be traded. He did not request the trade. He did not say, get me the freak out of LA. I feel like it'd be hard to say that if you're from LA and you've been playing here, you've been an all-star here. Like, James has had a very good career. In terms of all the places that he has been, it's like Houston, and then I think LA is like the second place that I would think of. Even before OKC, because he's been an all-star here. He was very, very good here. Very high production rate for James Harden. But I'm glad that he understood, hey, timelines aren't matching up. We're not going to be winning for a championship here, which is valid, even though it sucks. I mean, we've just been bad for too long and whatever. Get me out and get me to a team that wants. And the fact that, with saying all that, the fact that the Clippers can get back a guy like Darius Garland is a really big win, right? Really big win. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Whew, it's still 8:49 in the morning. Jeez, I'm tired. Cavaliers understand that they have a 2-year window to win a championship with Donovan Mitchell and James Harden before they'll need to move on from this team. Yeah, you can't keep going on forever. That's why the Clippers have to make a kind of like a reiteration of this team where I still think that they can bring in someone else kind of big. I don't know if they move Garland again and get someone else. I don't know even what guy they're going to be able to go get, but yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Speaking of tomorrow, we're going to be live basically all day tomorrow from 8 a.m. to like 1 p.m. I'm going to be live the whole time. I don't know what I'm going to do. We're going to be talking about stuff. We're going to be yapping. So we're going to please pull up. It's going to be so much fun. Dude, yeah. Darius Garland's representative blessed his trade from the Cleveland Cavaliers to Los Angeles Clippers before the deal was completed. I don't know what that means. Yeah. Hopefully Darius Garland has a good impact on the Clippers. Hopefully James Harden does the same for the Cavs, right? All right. Oh, it's also fun to mention that Darius Garland's dad, Winston, also played for the Clippers in the 90s. So that's fun. They're the second father-son duo to play with the Clippers, is the Rivers father-son duo. Good old Doc and Austin, man. Good old Doc and Austin. Alrighty. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a fun thing. I got to come up with some extra. I don't know if we're going to be having, popping up. I just want to be there for live all day. I got nothing really to do tomorrow. It's going to be a fun time, man. It's going to be a fun freaking time. Oh! We'll have to see what happens with the Giannis news. Is there anything going on with that? Bucks field weak Giannis trade offers ahead of deadline. Miami Heat are reportedly trying to land Giannis and Ja without giving up Bam and Norman Powell. Interesting. The Bucks want Jaden McDaniels and multiple first-round picks. Yeah, you had to give up Jaden McDaniels, which even in my opinion is not the greatest return because you want a blue chip prospect. McDaniels is good. He's 25 years old, but also like Minnesota doesn't have any picks. Minnesota does not have any picks. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Bucks have shown reluctance to acquire Draymond Green. Golden State would need to find another team willing to send Milwaukee draft capital. If Draymond Green gets traded to another team and we have a picture of Draymond Green in another team's jersey, that is going to go 20 million times platinum on NBA Twitter talking about like how washed players are. Like, no, he should just retire. Like, just get him out. He's not. I don't know, man. Multiple teams have told the Bucks they will have better Giannis offers in the offseason. Yeah, Wolves are pressing to do the deal before the deadline. They don't want to get into a bidding war before the draft. Because that's the one thing Minnesota doesn't have is the draft assets, right? So if in the offseason someone gets a good draft pick, and they say, hey, Milwaukee, take our brand new homeboy for Giannis, or on draft night. I mean, that'd be crazy. I'm not seeing a lot of momentum towards Milwaukee making a Giannis move 1 hour ago. What? Come on, man. Come on. Brian Windhorst on Good Up just said Miami is actively trying to add another draft pick via a third team to get Giannis trade done. Underwhelming, yeah. Wow, I'm yawning. Yeah, these have 100% been underwhelming. They've just been like whatever. Offers coming in for Giannis have also believed to be under. Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, the best teams with the best teams with the best young guys don't really benefit from getting Giannis, or they don't want him. Like, I made the Giannis short a couple days ago that was talking about, the Spurs have a good package, but does he want to go to San Antonio? Don't know. I don't necessarily know. Don't really know. Same thing with Miami, where it's like, yeah, you could give up Tyler Hero and Kelly Oubre and XYZ, but is that the best package you can get? I mean, if I'm the Bucks, I'm waiting to the last second, right? Yeah, Minnesota wants to get bad done now. Brian, I'm seeing action from Miami Heat and Minnesota Timberwolves to improve their offer. So that's the thing. The Timberwolves are trying to just make money. They're trying to just make money. Now, does adding Giannis to Minnesota actually change anything? Well, I think so, 100%. I mean, they are the 7th seed as of right now. You are tied for 6th, tied technically games wise for 5th, and a couple games back from 4th, couple games back from 3rd. Okay, no, the Nuggets they're 2 losses behind the Spurs, so that's interesting to see. The Blazers have been sliding. The key team here in this Giannis trade has got to be the Blazers for a third team trade. There has got to be some involvement with Portland in this, because they hold 3 of Milwaukee's own picks. And I'd be shocked if Milwaukee wants to go, hey, let's give you Giannis, and then we're going to try and be good immediately. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You're not going to try and do that, right? Get your own picks back. That's going to be the sweetener. If Minnesota can get it, I think the way Minnesota gets this done is not by using their own draft capital, because why would you also want picks from Minnesota if it's Minnesota's own picks anyways? Why would you want that if you're giving them a good player? They're not going to be bad enough to have a good lottery pick, right? Maybe it's like, hey, we got to give up Julius Randle to Portland or something. I'm just spitballing. Julius Randle to Portland, some sort of actual value there, and then Jaden McDaniels to Milwaukee, and then Portland gives a couple picks to Milwaukee. Minnesota gives Giannis. That's a really messy way. I don't even know if that'll work. Let's try it. Can I go 3 teams? I'm not really like skilled with this. Should we try this out? Who am I looking for? Milwaukee, Minnesota, and Portland. Let's try. Recent successful trades. Oof. Can we even trade? How's this going to go? Giannis to Minnesota. Good. McDaniels to Milwaukee. Randall to Portland. Portland has got to probably move some money too. Milwaukee needs to receive something from Portland. Draft picks. Milwaukee. Boom. Milwaukee. Boom. This trade currently fails. I'm learning. Don't yell at me. Portland is hard capped over the first Abram by 23. So they need to get rid of $23 million. Let's try that. Then some 23. Oh, they don't have anybody. Oh, Jeremy Grant. Yeah. Minnesota? Milwaukee? Are they hard capped? Boom. They're good. This works. Milwaukee must waive one player before Parsons. And Milwaukee probably has to get rid of somebody else who 9 million, 15 million. You send Thanasis. Duh. To Minnesota. Okay, that's not the most insane. I mean, does that work? And then you get let's send them more picks. Why won't this work? Why is it locked? I don't know what happened. I'm working on it. I'm trying. Okay. In this mad scuffed trade offer, Bucks get Jay McDaniels, Jeremy Grant, and let's just pretend that there's more picks. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they can't get more picks. We're just going to give them all the picks. Yeah, apparently I can't send more picks. Unless it's just tweaking. Oh, no. Okay, we'll give them 3 first-round picks. But then that's actually not worth it. There's no way they would do that. The Blazers don't want 3. Yeah, no, they're not doing 3 first-round picks. They're going to be doing, let's take this one out. 2 first-round picks. Maybe. But, okay, yeah, you save money. You get Julius Randle, who's like fine. Like that's not bad at all, I guess. Somehow. You get rid of the Jeremy Grant contract, and then you give up 2 firsts to kind of do that, and you definitely get better in that aspect. Julius Randle is definitely a better player than Jeremy Grant, and would help the Blazers out a lot more than they are currently being helped, right? The Bucks get Jaden McDaniel. I feel like Minnesota's going to have to send something else. Yeah, Minnesota's definitely going to have to lose more. You send Naz Reid? 9 million. What's under 9 million? Yeah, you got to send Rob Dillingham to Portland. Yep. And 3 million. Terrence Shannon to Portland. Trade fails. Oh, it was barely over. Dang it. Never mind. Take him off. Bones Highland. Leonard Miller to Portland. Portland must waive 2 players. Okay, well, they could figure that out. This is mad. Okay, actually, let's take Leonard Miller back. Yeah, Rob Dillingham and Julius Reynolds, that's pretty good. Minnesota would need 12 players. We'll figure it out. This is super scuffed, but I think this is fine, right? Jay McDaniels, Jeremy Grant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Thanasis. This is not bad. But that's what I'm saying is, like, I even look at this, and they get 2 first-round picks, Jeremy Grant and Jay McDaniels. I want more than that for Giannis. That is not. Jaren Jackson just got traded for 3 firsts. Like, you gotta have more than that. And I think that's why Miami's going for another first-round pick. Because they need that. Like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, sure, it works. And the Antetokounmpos go to Minnesota, and you lose 3 rotation players for Giannis. I mean, that probably sounds about right. But the Blazers get in here, helps with the picks, but even then, it doesn't even look that good. Jay McDaniels has to go. You get rid of Jeremy Grant contract for sure, which I don't even know if Milwaukee will want to be able to do that. Like, how does that benefit me if I'm Milwaukee? It doesn't. 2 first-round picks from Milwaukee and Portland. The The 2028 Milwaukee is a pretty good pick, if I'm being honest. And do we have any more Milwaukee picks? 2029. Can I not send this one and send this one instead? Okay. Yeah, that's interesting stuff, man. We will have to stay up to date with what's going on with Giannis, man. I don't know if he's gonna get traded. We clone Tyler Herro, trade him twice. Hear me out. Trade him twice. Bucks, T-Wolves. Oof. Interesting. Giannis reportedly has Anthony Edwards joining Timberwolves at the top. I would want to go play with Ant myself. I would love to do that. Lakers fans being delusional again. Some Wolves fans really thinking they could keep McDaniels and Giannis trade. It's McDaniels and more. As we just discussed, there's no way Minnesota does not have enough juice. We just ran through that trade value. I mean, they don't have enough juice to get Giannis. Because they would, even if we just did the 3-team trade with Milwaukee and Portland and Minnesota, and you give up Jaden McDaniels, you move Julius Randle to Portland, you move Rob Dillingham to Portland, unless you give if you're Portland, you get off the Jeremy Grant contract, and that is what enables you to want to give up some picks, and you get Julius Randle back, and you get Rob Dillingham. But then as well, if you're Portland, I'm like also if you're Milwaukee, hey, I want more guys, but it depends on how much money you want to take on. I mean, what really are we looking for here, right? I feel like Giannis is going to either go to T-Wolves or the Warriors for Rudy Gobert and Draymond, respectively. Other players included, of course. Yeah, well, let's run through. The Rudy one is interesting. Oh, let's look at that. Let's run through that. It would. This is going to be interesting to look at. Minnesota, Milwaukee. Interesting. We're gonna have to finagle because like there's it has to work on paper first, right? But then would they do that? Is Milwaukee like who just signed Miles Turner? Are they like, yeah, we want? Okay, hold on. We need to match the money. So the Bucks, dude, do you have to give up like Naz Reid? So that like money works, right? And then Gobert, who also was already worth like 5 first-round picks when he got traded, right? Something like that. That was crazy. Gobert, Naz Reid, that money works. And then sorry, I forgot. Gotta send my boy to Minnesota. Thanasis is going with it. So this trade is 100% successful. There's no way that this is the value though. Like Gobert and Naz Reid definitely match up. Perfect. Boom. Great. And both teams are under the income by $14 million, so that's great. Or under the first apron. This team will be under first apron. Okay, so that helps out a little bit. You get. If I'm Milwaukee though, I'm like, I want more than that. I don't want like Naz Reid's like cool. Gobert, unless you move Gobert to another team and then get something for him. Like who would want Gobert? What third team wants Gobert? Let's look at just teams. What third team would want Gobert? Sending Gobert to the Lakers would be nuts. That'd be wild after what he did to them last year. Jeez. What other team could use a big man and could do that? That would be really weird. Rudy Gobert, Rob Dillingham, Naz Reid. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could throw Rob in here. That's whenever the updates. Come on. Minnesota had 12 players. Okay. There's, yeah, I think, that if I'm the Bucks, I'm like, I want more picks. Because if I'm trading my cornerstone Finals MVP, two-time MVP, DPOY player in his prime, I'm gonna want some financial security for the future. I don't think Rob Dillingham is that financial security. Naz Reid's cool, and maybe I don't have the mental capacity to work on this right now. But maybe you ship Gobert somewhere else because I don't think the Bucks would want him in the first place. Maybe we'll look at that. Where could he go? Who wants Rudy Gobert? Toronto? Let's work on that. Let's try to get Rudy Gobert to Toronto. I don't know if that works at all. Milwaukee. Okay, Giannis, Minnesota. Gobert to Toronto. Who else do we have? Thanasis going to Minnesota, obviously. Minnesota. Who do we say? Naz Reid to Milwaukee and Rob Dillingham to Milwaukee. That is what we just had, except for, hold on. Milwaukee needs to send. Let's wait for it to update. Toronto needs to do something. Toronto needs to move. What do you move? RJ to Milwaukee? Hold up. Raptors are taking in too much money. And the Bucks can take in a little bit. The Raptors need to off some $7 million, which is perfectly in the sweet spot to, okay, get Grady Dick and Jacoby Walter. Wait, hold on. I just updated. The Bucks, Grady Dick, Milwaukee, Jacoby Walter, Milwaukee. Okay. This is, I mean, Milwaukee's got to get rid of 3 guys. That's an interesting, that's a little bit more interesting. Raptors get better. You get rid, Raptors get Rudy Gobert. That'd be interesting, bro. That would be really interesting. They get this. But also, at the same time, I mean, you lose Gobert. This is something that would be very, very interesting to watch. Could this actually happen? RJ Barrett, Grady Dick, Jacoby Walter. So I'm working. It makes money. Money works. Under the first apron, under the first apron, under the first apron. But does that? There's got to be picks somewhere. What do these guys have? They've got their own picks until 2032 for first round picks. So I don't know if that. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. I understand now why the Giannis trade is not working a whole ton. The teams who want him don't have the good enough packages, but the teams who don't want him have really good packages. That is very interesting, man. The Giannis trade is looking like it's going to take a lot longer to accomplish than we had thought originally. But yeah, man, we will be live tomorrow, all day tomorrow. I might just be doing trade simulation all freaking day tomorrow. It's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna be live forever. Hopefully I can chill for that long and just wait for Shams to update something. Let's see if we even have any notifications. DeMar DeRozan is a strong candidate to agree to buyout with the Kings after the deadline. If DeMar, interesting. All right, man. Okay, well, we will see you guys tomorrow. It's gonna be a fun day tomorrow. I'm mad excited. That's gonna be it for today. Tomorrow, trade deadline, baby. Hopefully nothing happens. Well, okay, I want stuff to happen today, obviously, but hope we will recap it tomorrow. We'll recap everything tomorrow once again. Even if stuff does happen today, which I'm sure it will, because yesterday just kind of at lunchtime just right. So okay, that's all I got for today, man.